Hey my gorgeous Libra. So in this wacky world I am here to bring some wacky fun. Let's hope. So I started off all videos with animal oracles. So we're gonna get you one. Let's see where they're going. Sorry, something come across my phone then. I didn't glitch, even though for some reason there is some kind of thing going on. We've got Bobcat. I've not seen this one before. Mystery. The Bobcat teaches you that there is true power and strength in silence and patience. In order to get what you want, you must be willing to plan, adapt, and above all, have the patience to see your dreams manifest. The Bobcat. Mystery. It's to be opened to that mystery, the mystery of the universe. Mystery of magic, the mystery of energy. So it's mysterious. So I am using the Yin Yang Oracle this week, people. The Lilith designs. Yes, I'm feeling a bit Lilithy. So let's jump straight in and see where we're going for Libra. We've got spying, watching, and inspecting, but I feel like this is more your energy. Like you're going through some kind of self-analysis. You know, you might be analysing things. If you work online, you might be looking at the analytic type things. You know, the numbers, the shares, that type of thing. There seems to be an energy of, I felt like I was in Matrix then. You know, the beginning of the film where all the green numbers are all over. That's what I felt like then. You may be a bit like numbers-wise, finances, that type of thing, maybe a bit overwhelmed. Or you could be seeing certain numbers everywhere. Numbers are definitely going to be a running theme for you this week, Libra. I also feel like if it is business, you need to look at what the competition are doing. Don't know why I wanted to say that. Or who is your competition? Not in business, I mean in life. Your biggest competition should be the person you were yesterday, you know. But what's challenging your energy is your self-worth and your expectations. Don't sell yourself short, Libra. It does seem to have like a financial gist on it, but not just that. It's like, you know, a lot of people go on social media nowadays and you're looking at all these photos that have been hairbrushed and photoshopped and, you know, they don't even look like that in person. It winds me up. And you get so many people liking it and loving it and stuff. And I feel sorry for the person in the photo as well because they've got to live up to that expectation. But then I also feel sorry for the people who look at those types of things and those types of posts and it puts them in themselves. You know, they don't feel good enough or they feel like they're lacking in somewhere. So maybe that's resonating somewhere, Libra, with that expectations and that self-worth. Maybe put the phone down a little bit. So whilst this coming around now, we've got the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Fire, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. I'm doing this reading whilst we're in Leo. We will flip over into Virgo at the end of the week, but I'm starting in Leo. And the Ace of Wands to me, I always say, is that like kind of plane going above and it says change your life now. And I do feel like you are going to have to learn to adapt because that is going to be your true strength. You are a very logical sign, Libra. Always check your sun, moon, rising, and your Venus because that's going to actually benefit you this week. Especially if you've got fire in your chart. So always go and do your sun, moon, rising, and your Venus signs. It's not hard. You can Google it as well. Just put your details in. It'll come up. If you've got fire, go and watch that reading because I feel like you're linking with your fire. You may have a strong fire sign around you as well that can advise you in this situation. So recent past, you've been focusing on your stability, harmony, flow, and things may have been flowing, but then all of a sudden, like boom, something's come up in order for you to kind of face it head on. So let's have a look. Yeah, we've got sun, strength and empowerment. Even though you feel like you're going through a battleground at the minute, you're walking through the battleground, you've got to remember that that battleground, it ain't going to last forever. You've got to come to the end of it. You're going to get to the end of that ground. It's an empowering week. You know, you're kind of seeing your own strengths. I like that energy. Again, fiery energy. Right, there's definitely a reason why I was saying Google it. Go to do your natal chart, because your Venus comes into play towards the end of the week. Your Venus rules finances and romance. So your Venus sign is definitely like screaming out at you at the moment, because your Venus sign wants to be open to new offers, whether that be people, you know, commitments, that type of thing, or career, experiences, that type of energy. Your Venus is definitely playing a part, Libra, this week, and it's your self-worth. And I keep saying again, don't sell yourself short. And I feel like your Venus, if you go and find your Venus sign and go and watch the Venus reading, the sign for your Venus, I feel like you'll realize where you're selling yourself short. Oh, your power this week, Libra. Look out for them dreams. There is messages coming in the dreams. If you've got a busy mind and there's a lot of stuff going on and you're inspecting everything and you're doing this, the only time that the universe can actually collaborate with you or, you know, gain a connection with you is when you're sleeping. So make sure you are keeping a journal of your dreams. You are being given some kind of information in your dreams. The outside influence is control tactics. What has control over you? I feel like you're going up against it. I feel like that is the competition. Maybe the past has a control over you, or finances have a control over you, or the lack of, you know, that type of thing. But it's like that Venus energy is coming in for empowerment, and it's saying, no, don't sell yourself short. Don't keep telling yourself that story, because it's time to kind of reinvent your story. Rewrite your story. In the hopes and fears, we've got avoidance and stalemate, but I do feel like you can't avoid the situation anymore. You may have been avoiding it, but it's like we can't avoid it anymore. It's like, boom, it's there. It's screaming at you to just be sorted for you to gain that self-worth. Oh my God, Libra, your outcome, being open to receive. The more you try and control everything, the more you are putting blockages around you. And that's going to be hard for my Libras because of that logical thinking and that game plan and that. So having a trust in something and asking for signs and, you know, that type of thing, that's having faith. Having faith. And I really feel like you are going to work in silence this week. But then it's the boom energy. Do you know what I mean? You're coming back with a bang after a period of silence, and you're open to receive, whether that be financially or in love, abundance. You know, I do feel like numbers are going to be really relevant to yourselves this week, Libra. It's an interesting week. You know, you go from being all like, do you know what I got then? A bowl of elastic bands. I don't know why. Like all like tight, to just being like, come at me. Open to receive. I love that energy. Love it. Look out for them numbers. Go check your Venus sign, Libra. Mwah. Bye.